Dear brothers and sisters, this is a homily for 28th Sunday in Ordinary Time Year B. What must I do to inherit eternal life? Asked the rich man. What must I do is also a question that preoccupies people of all walks of life even today. For instance, what must I do to be a good priest? What must I do to have a good family, to be a good Christian, to succeed in life, to be a good student, to quit addiction, etc.? As a matter of fact, this question reveals the desire and the willingness of the rich man to access eternal life as recorded in the Gospel passage of this Sunday. Today, we can ask ourselves a couple of questions such as, what must we do to have eternal life? Does Jesus condemn the riches in this passage? And lastly, what are the requirements to access eternal life? On this 28th Sunday in Ordinary Time B, we find Christ in the Gospel passage on his way to Jerusalem. A rich Jewish man runs after him, gets in front of him and kneels down before him to ask, "Good Master, what must I do to inherit eternal life?" First and foremost, Jesus says that he is not good master because only God is good. Why? Because he wants to glorify his Father as the origin of all good. Therefore, what must I do question in this context reveals two important messages that we can single out from this passage, namely the requirements to acquire eternal life and what is lacking in this rich man's life. 1. Requirements to acquire eternal life. Primarily is to have faith and to know the commandments or the Decalogue. Upon asked by Jesus if he knows the commandments, the rich Jewish man proudly answered, "Yes," as any faithful Jew would do because he kept the commandments since his childhood. Second, it is to detach oneself from all preventions so as to be attached to Christ. On the same, Christ advised the rich man to detach himself from his riches or wealth so that he can be attached to Christ, therefore having a treasure in heaven. Let us note that Christ here does not whatsoever condemn riches or wealth, but he condemns the excessive attachment to riches. In fact, on detachment from riches, St. Augustine beautifully says, "Use things to enjoy God and not to use God to enjoy things." It is a call to all of us to respond to, and that is why St. Anthony and St. Francis of Assisi, upon hearing this very passage, they left everything and attached themselves to Christ. They perceived this as a call to evangelical poverty in religious life. Finally, the other message that "what must I do?" question brings out is what is lacking in this rich man's life. Despite his profound knowledge of the commandments, he failed to put it into practice. That is what Christ pointed out in him. The emptiness in this rich man's life comes from his inability to share the wealth with the poor around him. In other words, the rich man didn't have a good relationship with his neighbor, even though he knew the commandments. Therefore, there was an emptiness in his life. Do we know the commandments? Do we put them into practice? Or there is a rich man syndrome in us today? Let us reuse this question what must I do to reveal, to reflect, to rediscover, to help us identify what is lacking in our Christian life today? Of course, the rich man quits more sad than before, but Jesus continues to teach his disciples on the importance of being attached to him in order to have eternal life. In order to drive the point at home, Christ uses the expression, "It is easy for a camel to pass through the eye of a needle than a rich man to enter the kingdom of God." This is to highlight the excessive attachment to riches because it blocks one from having eternal life. This expression, borrowed from the culture and traditions, shows the impossibilities in accessing eternal life. In this context, riches represent anything that prevents us from following Christ or accessing eternal life, such as sins, our passions, addictions, and excessive attachment to our wealth. Is it really possible to detach oneself from riches? Yes. For example, the community of 12 disciples in this passage left their parents, houses, land, and their families to follow Christ. Hence, Christ's reward is true because what is impossible to man, it is possible to God. What one must do is to pray for wisdom to make good choices, as the first reading indicates, and also to live the Word of God to inspire us, to guide us, and to shape our desires so as to share what we have with others. To conclude, the rich man ran to meet, to kneel, and ask Jesus on how to access eternal life. When do we run to Christ mostly? Maybe when we are in need, such as when one is sick. That is when we tend to run to Christ for healing. Let us run to meet, to kneel and pray before Jesus Christ every day. May God give us His grace to have the desire and willingness to put into practice by sharing with others both our material and spiritual goods. Amen. Have a blessed Sunday.
Like, share,